Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch List for Thursday, December 8th, 2011. All right, so let's go through the market here. Video will probably be a little bit longer than last night's, but may not be too much longer because we're still in this little logjam here. Below the 200-day moving average on the S&P 500 cash. Look like we were trying to get some expansion on the day, but found support at the lows of the week, okay, which were back here. Now, once again, it's important to make sure we have the right candle. And you can see here are the lows for Monday. And we wound up breaking them but remounting them. So we didn't get much of a pullback here at all. And we had a nice little pop in the afternoon that was attributed to some news. But for the most part, it was just a sloppy, choppy day. So we're right here at the 200-day moving average. And the question is, are we going to get above this? Are we going to be able to break out above this level here? Okay, which is where the triangle would have broken to the upside had it not broken to the downside first. Okay, I mean, this really isn't a pattern here anymore, but I think this triangle was definitely important. It was after the big rally we had off the lows, okay, and then we formed this consolidation. So even though it's technically broken since it broke down to the downside, I still think we can watch this because this is definitely was a key inflection point. So it's still something to be honored. Let's see if it could pop up here and head towards this high. Now, the European Union Summit is Friday, and there is, pretty bullish tone ahead of it. I mean, we aren't selling off into it, but that doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. I mean, that it's going to be a complete wild card, and I wrote in my daily email, which you can get by signing up to the list right here, that you should expect to see some volatility. You should prepare to see some volatility, and then adjust it from there. All right, so if there's no volatility, which I just can't see there not being, I mean, I think it's just going to be as news is released, some what's been accomplished or which direction they're moving. I think that we're going to experience some volatility. So for day traders, it's going to offer opportunity as long as you don't stay married to the position if it decides to turn, but I think it's going to keep swing traders on the fence for a little bit here, waiting to get a clearer view. That's my opinion, but we'll see. All right, if we pop up from here, I'm looking for this 78.6% retracement of the range of the year. Okay, nice fib number. And if it pulls back, watch these moving averages. All right, so the NASDAQ, if you have to spell it right in order for it to work, by the way. Okay, so the NASDAQ 100 came down, touched the 200-day, got a nice bounce. Closed down on the session, but not by much. Right, 4/400%. So seeing here if it can get back above the 78.6% line and try to attack these highs, and then the highs on the year again. Russell. Okay, 200-day is still the line in the sand on the short term. All right, semiconductors had a nice day. I pulled down to the moving averages and then got a nice pop here, but 200-day moving average, still the level to watch. Here's Clack. All right, acting nice and strong here. Still has a little bit to go, but the Fibonacci retracement suggests that it gets to a new high. Obviously, if the market tanks, that's the Fibonacci retracement can say whatever it wants, okay? Unless there's company-specific news with the market pulling in, it's not going to fight the market. Here's Intel. Intel's been a bellwether of this move, and at new highs here, new multi-year highs. All right. See if this can get something going. Microsoft. All right. On the other hand, one of these big stocks like Microsoft just kind of still sitting in this pattern of narrowing range. Okay, right? The overall range is starting to narrow down. So this is coiling up. Microsoft isn't a semiconductor, so I don't know why I put it there. I think because somebody asked me to look at it, and before I forget, which I've been known to do, I wanted to mention it. All right, so here's Broadcom. Not acted so hot here, but had an okay day. Sorry about that. Had an okay day on Wednesday. Watch the 20 EMA. All right. NVIDIA. You got to get over that 200-day moving average. Okay, banks. Not a bad day. Up nearly 1%, but I want to see us pop here, take out these highs, and head towards the 200-day. Bank of America. Okay, trying to get over that 50-day. Citigroup. Sitting on the 89 EMA. JP Morgan. All right, above the 89 EMA, up 3%. But that's including some after-hours trading. But still, an okay day, even without that extra 24 cents that you see there. Broker-dealer, okay. Trying to get above that 89 EMA here. All right, has to get above that with a bullet, as they say. Goldman, also at the 89 EMA. So I want to see if we can get above that. Head towards this high up here at 109.26. Okay, cyclicals. I mean, not a bad looking pattern here. Moving averages are coming up to perhaps lend a supportive hand. But you got this high and then the 200-day moving average to get through. Here's XLB. Little consolidation. Watch the 200-day above. Alcoa. Sitting at the right under the 50-day. Has to get through that. Caterpillar. All right, we're sitting on the 200-day. Wound up taking a little dip, but a doji after trading down to the area of the moving averages. See if it can get a bounce. Healthcare sitting right under that 78.6. Looks like it's trying to do a stealth flag here. There's really no impulse, so it can't be a real flag. It's more of a range, but let's see if it could pop up through here. If it does, it would target those highs. Here's Aetna. Not a bad looking chart here. Above the moving averages. All right. Sitting right here. Okay. So watch this. See if it could get some upward mobility. United Health Group. WellCare pulling back to the 20. Watch that for potential support. GLD. Still looks like it may want to try higher. SLV. Looking like it is holding this outside channel line as potential resistance. OIL. Not looking bad. Kind of digesting sideways. Some of the glamour stocks. Apple. All right, wants to pull back here on the short term, it appears, but then you can see that little bounce that we saw in the market. It wasn't as pronounced here in a stock like Apple, but doesn't look like it's in a rush to get anywhere. So watch this to see if it gets some upward thrust. Has to come in with some volume, obviously. Google. All right, hit those relative highs, now pulling back. If the market bounces, I'd be watching this one, showing some good relative strength. Baidu looks icky. Amazon still under the 200-day, but you can't sit here and say, oh, it looks, looks crazy bearish on a day where it was up 1.8%. But I mean, if the market rolls over, this is what I'm watching. If the market bounces, I'm not looking to fight it. Here's CMG. Looks like it's ready to try to move higher. ISRG, somebody wanted me to look at. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's sitting there in this little consolidation here. Somebody wanted me to look at Six Flags. Okay. Yeah, a little coil here. I just don't like it when we're so far above the moving averages, but it's definitely a bullish coil. It suggests that we at least test, if not take out the highs at 40 and a quarter. Okay. Research in motion. Yeah, looking weak still. But said I don't want to fight anything if the market does decide to bounce off this EU summit. And here's Las Vegas Sands still just chopping in this bigger range. Now we have this smaller range where it popped out of and then has now pulled back, but holding the moving averages here. Whoops, sorry about that. Holding the moving averages here. So let's see if it can get a little rotation up here. All right, and Ford. All right, 89 EMA. It's consolidating between the 89 and the 50. All right. So we'll see if this gets a little upside interest. Can pop out. First resistance up here at 1168. All right, so let's see what happens on Thursday. Futures traders, it is contract rollover for index futures. So you'll start seeing some volume coming in the March contract. Usually the front month will take over around 11 o'clock. And that doesn't mean that you can't still trade December, but the volume will start coming out of that. You'll see it. So, yeah, it's the Thursday before the last option expiration already. Amazing. Year's gone by pretty quick, but not the time to reminisce. All right. I will talk to everybody again on Friday. Have a great trading day on Thursday.